Welcome back to Nightmare Creatures. We've got a hot tip on where we might be able to hit Crowley where it hurts. And the fact that he stepped up his defenses means we probably are on the right track. His first couple of gargoyles did kill me, but now they've been disarmed. There's no point in killing them back. Just leave them in that state. Got a new combo, but I'm more interested in pointless destruction. It's Mischief Night here in London. I see you there. So we saw the spin strike there. It is unimpressive. That's pretty impressive, though. One shot to explode a gargoyle. More signage. It's gotten kind of surrealistic. All we have is a negative image of the werewolf from the Werewolf Tavern, with some strange runes underneath it. London may have been doomed before Crowley got here. Yeah, let's not think too hard about that one. Just keep killing. My patience for gargoyles has worn quite thin at this point. They're much too aggressive for this game's controls. Very difficult to deal with. It's a good thing they are one-hit kill with the gun at this point. So I should just be shooting every single one of them. But from an exploded building, we have the introduction of the game's final new enemy, the Hellhound. They breathe fire and attack with their deadly claws. But most importantly, they are giant bags of HP. And this one lured us into beating it into another ambush from another gargoyle. But Hellhounds have precisely double the HP of a Docker, which is too much HP to begin with. So we need to find extremely high damaging ways to deal with these Hellhounds. And gargoyles, for that matter. Sick to death of him, so time to Indiana Jones him. And the building that exploded was called the Creeping Howl, with a picture of an owl on it. It inspires me to great acts of bravery. Traversing the fire gets us our final weapon upgrade, and 5 more of every item in the game, and another cache of items. It's worth doing, although you would never think to do it because it's suicidal. Walking through the fire takes exactly 1 full health bar, and if you die along the way, it resets you back at the beginning. But now that we have the final upgrade, we have 2 full health bars, so problem solved. But much more important is over here. My favorite sign of the entire game, Yorick's Skull. With a hand holding a skull. Alas, there's nothing inside of Yorick's Skull. But we gotta keep vandalizing Mischief Night. It's come almost 2 weeks early, because this game takes place on October 17th, 1834. Extremely astute historians will recognize that this is the day after the Great London Fire of 1834, on which this game is based. Perhaps they're saying it is after midnight on October 16th, but the fire started on October 16th, and we're just now seeing the fire start in-game. So, bit of a mistake on their part. Now, this event, the London Fire of 1834, does not typically bear the title of the Second Great London Fire. That honor usually belongs to a bombing raid from 1940 during World War II, during which London was mostly burned to the ground. But the whole clever conceit of this game is that it ties the original Great London Fire of 1666 to the 1834 fire. It's one of the things they got mostly historically correct, except for the exact day and the cause being a mystical brotherhood of evil magicians. But hey, more glass breaking. So much pointless destruction. And that one glass there had a saw blade inside that I didn't bother to pick up. Mindless violence is the real reward. Good shot. Much better shot. And I just noticed that when he shot the Hellhound, he used his left gun, but when he shot the Gargoyle, he used his right gun. There's two separate animations for Ignatius using the gun to account for his two different guns, whereas Nadia only has the one rapid-fire gun. That is a very impressive attention to detail for a PS1 game. Now that we have the third upgrade, we have easy dismemberment on spiders. You can finally see the full extent of how much we can chop off of them. It's quite a bit. If you do things perfectly, you can actually outrun that collapse. But I did not. It's quite the mercy that they allowed Hellhounds to be one-hit killed by guns in the N64 version. Because on the PlayStation version, they take a bullet and keep coming at you with about the same health as a Docker. They're not that difficult of enemies. Their attack pattern is not too hard to deal with. And their fire breathing is pretty pathetic. Their main issue is that they almost always erupt from flames. Then as you attack them, you push them back into the flames. They are immune to it, but you are not. Contrary to all the flames we've seen, we've got a nice fountain here. Would expect a gargoyle attack, as we often get at fountains, but this one came from behind the fountain. And it's got backup. Our health items are now dramatically more effective now that we have 2 health bars. We use a full health orb, we get its full effect, regardless of what our health was at previously. Unless, of course, it was already in the blue. Couldn't get through that gate off to the left. Oh, and on top of the fountain, there is another gargoyle. We will want to miss out on that. The fountain itself, the water is nothing special, but at least it's not a non-stop disco of broken textures and static, as is the case on the PlayStation version, but only when it is being played on a PS3 as far as I can tell, which is how I recorded the game. Very strange, because it had been a perfect emulation up to this point. There's also a spider that somehow appeared outside of the broken wall that we entered. No idea how he got past me. But if I ever kill this gargoyle, I'll go deal with him. Finally got him cornered. Time to play the exterminator. And on we go. Over here we can actually enter a church. Wow. How disappointing. Someone brick-walled the entire entrance to this church. Possibly in preparation for the oncoming plague. So what we are actually supposed to do is go over here, break down this gate, fight another gargoyle. But the gargoyles are not fireproof. Almost all other enemies are, but if we're looking at a gargoyle, while it's jumping into flames, it will take constant damage. If we look away, it stops taking damage, though. But when we look back, it dies instantly. We also have the ability to chop up imps, but they have such a small HP pool. It's purely for fun. Need a quick way to deal with 2 hellhounds at once, because that actually is quite a threat. And there's no better way than the berserker. One more imp. And that bastard Crowley watching us kill all of his minions. I've been waiting a long time to do this, buddy. Damn it, he's bulletproof. Get back here.
Burn, London, burn! The fires of hell will consume thee!
Crowley has started the Great Fire of 1834. And with the conflagration begun, Nightmare Creatures has finally hit its stride. The ensuing levels have a strong momentum to them, and I'm looking forward to showing them off. So I'll see you next time as we continue in hot pursuit.